I'm going to show you the look on the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson's face, when he was asked to give Republican voters a reason to vote for Republicans, as they look around and they say, wait a second, Donald Trump promised to make things more affordable, and things have become less affordable. And Donald Trump promised that he was not going to do any new wars, and we're in a new war. And the new war is part of why things are not affordable. And his answer was the equivalent of looking at job listings on LinkedIn. He was asked about why should anybody vote for Republicans given what's going on. And look at his face. It is the face of a man who realizes Trump screwed us. How do we justify asking people to vote for us right now? Dear God.
Voters here in the district, there's a lot of military members, veterans. When we see what's going on in Iran, what would your pitch be to voters here about that continuing and gas prices going up right now? Why should that continue?
Yeah, the Iran conflict has been the cause, of course, of gas prices going up. It's
Right.
It's drug on. I am grateful, and I think all Americans of good sense are grateful that we have the greatest fighting force in the world, in the history of the world. Our men and women in uniform are the brave people who preserve freedom and stand on that line every single day. We're grateful for that.
What a pathetic clown. But I got to tell you, he's in a tough situation. Congressional Republicans have an unwinnable sales pitch. It's like going on that show Whale Tank, or Shark Tank it's called, and arguing for people to invest in your idea, and you got nothing. What I just have nothing to work with here. And it's a very simple question. What's your pitch to voters? Why should people vote for you? And Mike Johnson admits that the Iran conflict is causing gas prices to go up. He pauses. He's searching for some kind of exit. And then he declares, listen, we should be grateful that we've got the best military in the world. What does that have to do with the question? Americans can support the military, oppose the war, and realize that this president screwed them. They can go, listen, I respect the service of military members, but they shouldn't be in this open-ended conflict in Iran. And I can appreciate that we have a military, but I can be furious that this use of the military is a disaster, and now it costs me a lot more to fill up my gas tank. And Johnson was asked, give us the pitch. What are you going to say to voters? And he can't provide one because Republicans don't have a pitch that they can give to voters. The promises have all gone screwy. Trump said, I'm going to end the war, but we've got a conflict that's dragging on for months. He promised cheap energy, but energy has gone up. He promised affordability. Groceries are up. Housing is up. It's all up. And every time Americans go to the gas station or the grocery store, they realize someone must be responsible for this. And nobody's really falling for the idea that it's Joe Biden's fault. Now, you look at the polling and it is brutal. Reuters Ipsos poll says Trump's approval is 33%, one of the lowest of his presidency. 1 in 5 Americans believes the Iran war was worth it, and 80% believe this is going to go on for a long time. Even when you ask Republicans, only about half of Trump's party believes that this entire thing is worth what it is costing. That is what Mike Johnson is trying to sell in the midterms. And they all deserve it. Like, I don't feel bad for these people. It just, you allied yourself with a guy because you calculated that this was beneficial to you. And maybe it was. Maybe it got you elected or reelected to align with Trump. But now you find yourself in a situation where you barely hold the House. It's a very narrow margin. You can't afford anything resembling a normal backlash against the party of Trump. And it is shaping up to be a disaster. When you look at generic ballot polling, Democrats are leading Republicans by roughly 7 points. That's generic ballot. And if you look at individual surveys, Democrats have even bigger advantages. It's wild, wild stuff. So the House is in danger. It's probably going to fall to Democrats. The Senate is tougher for Democrats, but it's sort of like 50-50, maybe slightly in favor of Republicans, but it's basically a toss-up. So Trump has turned what should have been a competitive midterm. You expect the Republicans to lose some seats because that's what tends to happen after a Republican wins the White House. That party tends to lose a little bit in the midterms, but it could have been much more competitive than what it is. And if the economy was what Trump promised, Republicans would be doing way better. But you've got voters paying record prices for so much stuff, and now Republicans are having a major problem. Mike Johnson can't distance himself from Trump for a couple different reasons. Number one, he is the Speaker of the House, and it is a House that is basically in line with Trump. You can count on one hand the number of Republicans in the House that are really willing to defy Trump in a serious way. So Mike Johnson can't go, listen, I've been opposed to what this president has been doing for years. I've been voting against it. No, you haven't. He also can't distance from Trump because Trump demands total loyalty. And if he distances from Trump, Trump is going to go on the attack. And he's going to go get this loser out. These are rhinos, Republicans in name only, blah, blah, blah. And he also can't really defend Trump's record because it just sounds ridiculous. Oh, this president has done so much on making life more affordable for Americans. What? What are you talking about? So he goes, well, Americans like having a strong military. And I got to tell you, thanks to the fact that we have a volunteer army, I was never conscripted. I appreciate that. I like that. But what that tells me is not we should just send troops into harm's way for no real reason. It's we should respect the fact that they have volunteered and take really seriously the responsibility not to use the troops in ridiculous ways. And Trump recently has insisted, oh, they haven't even really been deployed long enough. So let's do away with the notion that you have to agree with every mission the president sets for the troops to support the troops. You can admire the volunteer service of service members without saying they should be sent into this place and that place and that place. Mike Johnson knows it. And you can see when he realizes, oh boy, I'm kind of screwed here. Trump created the war. Americans are paying for it. And now congressional Republicans are going to have to answer for it. Now, let me again this is really important to include every time we talk about this. If you are sitting around going, well, I don't like Trump, but I don't have a problem with MAGA Mike Johnson, so I'm going to vote to reelect him. MAGA Mike Johnson is a rubber stamper of everything Trump has done. 92 to 99% of the votes of Republicans in the House and the Senate are in support of Trump's agenda. So there is no, I disagree with Trump, but as a Republican, I have no issue with that. You're rubber stamping Trump by voting for elected officials that have gone along with everything or almost everything that Donald Trump has done. Remember that when you go and vote in November, if you're thinking of voting to reelect your Republican member of the House or Senate. There are other options, and we are going to be talking to many of those Democratic alternatives over the next several weeks. Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.